Helio Castroneves is the leader with 13 laps remaining. Kevin Lee, he's in front of you in 2.
Helio Castroneves, last year's winner, has the advantage right now. And there are a couple of lap cars between the second place car, Felipe Giaffoni, Kenny Breck, and Al Unser in the middle of that chase.
It's looking like Giaffoni's going to need some help in the way of some reinforcement for Castroneves. Don't want to see that happen. Castroneves is hooked up. He's in the north end. Felipe's trying to close in but can't.
Castroneves has a lap car behind him in Franchitti, then Al Unser Jr. He's got a lot of room between Giaffoni.
So Helio Castroneves right now, we're wondering, he has completed 30 laps, Jim Murphy, 12 laps to the finish. Can he go the distance?
That was the exact question I posed to Marlboro Team Penske, and the answer I got back was a grin, a chuckle, and a very nervous. It's going to be very close. Keep in mind, 8 of those laps have been run under caution. That helps a great deal. They've also had Helio Castroneves lifting the throttle at the end of the straightaway, breathing the engine, giving himself a little bit of an advantage there in the fuel department. Finally, as you mentioned, he's got some room. He doesn't have to run as fast. He's got some lap cars. That will all play to his advantage. Will he make it? Only the next 12 laps will tell.
Johnny Parsons Jr., shades of Nazareth with Joe DeFerrin, and the way they leaned that car up, they just couldn't make it go those final couple of laps.
Well, they used 2 different race strategies, Mike. You know, with a 2-car team or more, you can do that. And Castroneves is in the same position that DeFerrin was at that race in Nazareth, and they stretched it but 1 lap. They had 1 lap short, and they're going to have to stretch it here. If they stay green, I don't see him making it, but that's part of the drama here.
What do you think, JR? Can he make it?
That's anybody's guess. Doesn't look like it from the numbers, but you know, they're gambling, and that's sometimes you have to roll the dice.
Leaders off at turn number 4, Helio Castroneves. Felipe Giaffoni runs second, third place to Paul Tracy. As we take a look now, the 3 machine of Helio Castroneves setting up in front of Jerry Baker in 1.
And he still has a nice little lead. He's got a couple of lap cars. Here comes Giaffoni at that moment, so you can see the distance. He has a full short 2 lead. He's going into turn 2.
The lap car in front of him is Kenny Breck. The lap car right behind him. In fact, there are 2 of them. Dario Franchitti is behind the leader, Helio Castroneves, but you have to go 2 cars back to get to the second place machine of Felipe Giaffoni.
3 laps ago, it looked like Giaffoni was starting to close a bit, but he still can't work his way around Al Unser Jr. It's about a full turn now, the distance between first and second.
You're right, Mark. The gap is widening. There's a lot of space between Castroneves and Giaffoni. They head down the straightaway.
Helio Castroneves is now working on a considerable lead, and as they have mentioned, it is getting bigger by the moment. 3.34 seconds over Felipe Giaffoni, 3.62 seconds over Paul Tracy, the leaders in 2.
And as they head down to the north end now, it's still Helio Castroneves comfortably in front by more than 3 seconds.
Yeah, stretched it out about a quarter length of the straightaway now. Breck comes through first, then it's Castroneves, then it's Franchitti, then Unser, then Giaffoni.
There is so much space. It's Castroneves is just buffered by Breck and Franchitti, and then Giaffoni has a lot of work to do to get around Unser.
This time by Helio Castroneves completing 192 laps. That time 219.943 miles an hour. He's in 1.
Give you an idea, as Giaffoni enters turn 1, it is Castroneves going out of turn 2, Mike. That's how much room there is because the play with right now he's already on the back straightaway.
And before he can even think about catching up to Castroneves, Felipe Giaffoni still has 2 lap cars to deal with. He's trying to get by little Al right now.
Breck starting to pull out a little bit. Castroneves and Jim Murphy reported for the pit starting to pull out of it a little bit. Again, still no benefit to Giaffoni in terms of being able to get around Al Unser Jr. Well, they pick up Helio Castroneves on the front straight, crossing the yard of Briggs. He is 7 laps away from making it 2 in a row, Jerry Baker.
Keep in mind that those lap cars are not playing a part at all because right now Giaffoni can't even catch the lap cars. That's how strong Castroneves is. Exit turn 2.
And most of the lap cars seem to be going about the same pace as the leader, Helio Castroneves. Dario Franchitti, who is back in the pack, is right behind Castroneves going into 3.
Yeah, right in tire cracks as they pass in front of him. Then it's about a quarter of a turn back to Al Unser Jr. and then Felipe Giaffoni.
Castroneves in that number 3 red-white Marlboro car is quickly down the front straightaway, and Giappone still lagging behind.
Marlboro Team Penske, Helio Castroneves' crew dominated the pit stop competition a couple of days ago, and right now, Helio is well on his way. He is 6 laps away, Kevin Lee, from making it 2 straight here at the Speedway in front of you.
But actually, his lead is getting a little bit shorter. It's less than 2 seconds right now, and lap traffic shouldn't be a problem for Castroneves, because Breck is well out in front.
Kenny Breck passes in front of us, as you said. And then they're starting to bunch up a little bit. Castroneves, Franchitti, then Upser, and then Giappone. They're starting to close the gap.
They are starting to close the gap. In fact, Breck has run away from Castroneves, as Giappone looking to pass Unser.
So we will look for Felipe Giappone as Felipe Giappone moves to the rear wing of Al Unser Jr. They'll go side by side in turn number 1. Giappone makes the pass.
He does indeed. Franchitti moved over to the left side, gave him some racing room, and that's the way they'll line up going into number 2.
Castroneves has Franchitti right behind him, and that's the only car between the first and second place cars. Giappone is within range.
Giappone is more than within range now. He starts to close, and we see Franchitti go up high on Castroneves. Giappone starting to close the gap with the north end.
Castroneves is not moving as quick as he was, and Giappone has him in his sight in between his Franchitti.
This was a 3.5-second lead just a couple of laps ago. Now, let's take a look at the differential. It is now down to 43 hundredths of a second in one.
There's the pass made by Giappone's going to stay in line, and he'll still pull up to about 3 or 4 car lengths behind Castroneves.
Giappone looks down to the inside. He won't get him in turn 2. Castroneves now has to deal with a lap car in front of him as they head down to the north side.
Fans on their feet as it's going underneath. Giappone starts to go underneath, along with Castroneves underneath Franchitti. Has to back out of it. Franchitti still leading the way. Here comes Paul Tracy outside of Giappone.
Paul Tracy on the outside has passed Giappone. He's in second now. He's got some room. He's trying to make the pass.
Paul Tracy with an incredible pass on Felipe Giappone in turn number 4. Now he'll try to chase down Helio Castroneves in 1.
Right now, Tracy is on a flat run. He got around his teammate Franchitti with ease. Giappone will go around him also. They're set up into turn 2 right now.
The top 3 cars are running 1, 2, 3. No lap traffic involved. And it's Helio Castroneves out in front of Paul Tracy.
Castroneves trying to get the job done. Trying to hold off this charge from Paul Tracy. Has a 3-car length advantage as they enter the short chute in the north end.
Castroneves trying to hold off Tracy. Tracy hasn't been here since 1995. He chases down Castroneves on the straightaway.
As they approach the yard of brakes, less than 3 car lengths separate first and second place. Helio Castroneves. Paul Tracy will go to the high side in 1.
How much fuel does he have? We're going to find out. Castroneves, then Tracy as fast as you can see it. That's the way they hit the second turn.
The lead is down to 2.5 car lengths. Helio Castroneves looking for 2 in a row. Paul Tracy has him in his sight.
Oh, the qualifying struggle for Team Green, but boy, Paul Tracy looking good right now. A crash back in 2 as Tracy tries to make the pass. He makes the pass in the north end. He heads towards Princeton area. Action is on the speedway.
And Paul Tracy has made the pass. He's gotten around Castroneves. Mikey, heads your way.
Paul Tracy will take the yellow flag. It looks like he will win the Indianapolis 500 as the yellow and white are displayed. Paul Tracy made the pass in the north end, and let's wait and see. According to race control, the pass will not stick. Paul Tracy will move back to second place. Helio Castroneves will be shown as the leader, we believe. We'll check on this. The pass was made on the north end of the racetrack as yellow waved on the course. So we'll have to wait and see how this will stand right now. Donald Davidson, we are seeing the yellow and white flag displayed together. The field is being shown the flag. Where do we stand with this?
My guess would be in NASCAR, you race to the flag. We don't do that here. You revert to the previous lap, I believe. And so that'll put Helio Castroneves would be the leader. In fact, they've now waved him around into the lead with Paul Tracy in second.
So Chris Denary, you saw a great pass up there, and it looked like Paul Tracy was going to finally get the brass ring here at the Speedway as we see the Canadian flag just now being thrown over the rail. We see the white and yellow flag waving together as Paul Tracy comes to the line. We've got Felipe Giappone. We see Sam Hornick Jr. Chris Denary, they're in front of you.
Yeah, here comes Helio Castroneves. He's got the lap car of Franchitti. They're coming your way to the pagoda.
So the twin checkers will wave along with the yellow. The 86th Indianapolis 500-mile race belongs to Helio Castroneves, 2 in a row for Helio at the Speedway on a beautiful May day. Let's go to Adam Alexander.
Roger Penske celebrating for the 12th time in Indianapolis. You've done it again. Congratulations.
Well, it was a crazy finish.